Hello, YouTube. I am your host, the Crimson Warrior, coming at you guys today with a discussion video over Yu-Gi-Oh! And Coppa. Before we dig on into it, though, if you guys would like to follow me on other platforms, I'm at Instagram at CrimsonXWarrior, and I will try to keep my uploads regular. I've been sick for the past week, and normally when I have nothing positive share, I am not on those platforms because I do not like being that guy. If you guys enjoy my content, go ahead and smash that button, comment down below, tell me what your thoughts on Coppa and Yu-Gi-Oh are, and subscribe if you enjoy the content because it ain't stopping now. Digging on into it, Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless the Coppa guidelines are very specific when YouTube finally releases them, and they might have at this point, I have not been able to stay up to date on any of this, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Will have a Coppa problem. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a children's card game marketed to children for children. Now, before it sounds like I'm insulting kids, I am not, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an extremely advanced game that most 10-year-olds and younger can't cognate. Now, to all of those who can, who are exceptionally brilliant young minds, I apologize, but I am speaking about the 90% here, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a children's card game that children can't really play. And also, on another note, children can't really afford. We have cards that cost upwards of 50 plus. We're talking phantasmes, we're talking extravagances, we're talking staples within your deck. Cost more than $50. Where are kids gonna find this money? Now, the reason I rant about this topic is because every Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi-tuber basically is at risk of Coppa violation because we all advertise for a game that is for kids. Going back into that topic, it's for kids, but what's your kid representation at most locals? Like, had you accounted for the time that I first started going back to locals, there was no kids there. I saw Owen for 1 week and Tyler for another week, which are two younger gentlemen who come to my locals, and Owen's an extremely brilliant mind, and so is Tyler. They have somewhat a grasp on what they're doing in this game, but most kids play against other kids. They're barely using the rule set of the game. They're not reading their cards and fully understanding the text and what it means. And at the end of the day, they can't afford these meta decks. So where does that leave us as competitive channels that are marketing to a competitive audience who are honestly our bros? I mean, I'd started this channel basically because of my community. I told a couple people I was going to do it, and I didn't want them to come back to me and be like, why aren't you doing YugiTube? That's what you said you were going to do. I enjoy talking and sharing this game with you guys, and the fact that Coppa could come along and threaten all of that is really disgusting, honestly, because YouTube should have been following Coppa all along, and now YouTube is weaponizing its community, intentionally not giving us information so that we rise up against Coppa, even though it's YouTube's fault that they weren't in compliance this whole time because they lied and basically said that kids weren't on the platform when they knew kids were on the platform, and they market towards children as well. So YouTube is double in the red for this, and now it's the community that suffers because YouTube and Google didn't want to adhere to Coppa laws, and now we could face a $42,000 fine to our rinky mom and pop Yu-Gi-Oh channels. I mean, most of us aren't even making money. I just looked up my Social Blade information. Even if I did get AvRev, it would be $10 a month, if that. And I mean, if I keep continuing and growing, it could be something. But right now, I'm making no money. I work a job. I make a standard income as compared to most people. I work a trade job, so I make a little more money than most. I prefer not to disclose because I don't like people knowing what I make or where I'm at in life because people tend to want my money. But because YouTube blatantly lied and now is weaponizing its community to fight against Coppa when this is YouTube's fault. This is Google's fault. They knew exactly what they were doing when they got into this, and they know that they're trying to weaponize the community right now by leaving us in the dark until the end of this month, start of next month, when Coppa finally comes in effect, and they can come and look at us. And it's like, can I leave a disclaimer at the my videos saying that this isn't for children? I mean, the price tag alone should say that this isn't for children. It's like your parents are totally gonna buy you 3 copies of $100 Phantasmes. Yes, I'm gonna pay for my kid to have 3 pieces of cardboard with a name on them and an effect that do nothing monetarily for that family or any, and that the kid's most likely gonna destroy. Now, if you're a kid and like you revere your cards and you respect that, good on you, and you're leagues ahead of your colleagues in that sense, because, and I'm not trying to harp on kids here, but Yu-Gi-Oh! At its core, what Konami has marketed it as and what they advertise it as is a children's card game played by mainly 16-year-olds to 40-year-olds. The demographic for this game is adults. Only adults can really afford to play this game. Anyone with, I mean, once you have a part-time job, you have the ability to start playing this game in earnest, because until then, you're at the mercy of your parents getting sets, people getting you what you ask for, hoping that if your family and friends know that you're into cards and they're smart, they'll buy you singles and they'll buy you the cards you need. And that's if you're lucky. Most of the time, people want to laze out and just get you packs or something, which is fine, but the likelihood that you're going to get anything from packs is incredibly low. And this is another reason I haven't been posting lately, because I mean, what am I going to do? Pay $42,000 fine? Like, I love this game. This game's part of what I do. It's a competitive game. It helps me think. I'm attached to the community. Me and my friends all play this game. We gather around it 2 to 3 to 4 times a week sometimes. Even when there's not locals at our local Samurai Comics that we go to, on Fridays, we play test with each other. We get together, we make sure everyone's kind of geared up for the tournaments on Saturday and Sunday. And again, the attendance at these tournaments skews 90% towards the older demographic. Now, right now, there's 4 kids consistently playing the games at the tournaments, and I've got nothing against them. They're all past 13, which is where the age that Coppa starts to affect. And for the most part, when we started explaining the rules to them and how the game's actually played, they dropped their fake rules that they use with their friends and they started playing actual Yu-Gi-Oh! This is all well and good. These are all things that a community does to help kids out, but we are labeled a children's card game. So where does that leave us in relationship to Coppa? It's really frustrating to think that my channel, my hobby, could be stricken from me because it's labeled as towards kids, and it's like, I swear, I'm an asshole half the time. Like, I'm not the most pleasant person to be around sometimes, and I let that through. It's like, I really don't have much of a filter. I try for these videos not to swear profusely, and I try not to be an asshole when I go to tournaments, but when I get angry, people know about it. And as you guys can see with this video, it's like YouTube is trying to weaponize its community, trying to get us to revolutionize against Coppa, to defend them, when YouTube and Google are the ones at fault here. They're the ones who screwed us over. Coppa's just coming in and telling them that they need to do what they should have been doing this whole time, and for YouTube to step aside and be like, oh, we don't want to pay any more fines to you guys, we're just going to let you crack down on our community and our content creators. Go ahead, have your baton and your badge and your gun, go after them, you have free reign. It's like, no, YouTube, you need to step up. You've been being lazy for 13 years, not doing your job. You change the algorithm whenever you want, you don't tell the community anything, and we're left in the dark over all of your policies and decisions constantly. And now you're gonna let us get fired and targeted at by Coppa because you don't want to pay money. Your pockets are deep, and you're gonna screw us over? And it's like, for those of us who are just trying to play a game, make some content, have some fun with our friends. Like, all of my friends that view my content are 18 plus older grungy dudes for the most part that also enjoy this game. And to tell us that we possibly can't be making videos on YouTube anymore because it's for kids. It's like, I don't want a Coppa strike, and I definitely don't want to label my content for kids because I like kids, but I'm not a for kids guy. Again, I swear I can be an asshole. I'm not the most filtered person, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinion. And that doesn't leave a lot of room for kids. It's like, if you're a kid and you watch my content, that's awesome. I appreciate it, but I'm not changing for you. And that's what YouTube is suggesting to all content creators that might be within a for kids demographic. It's like, what about all of these Nintendo channels that base their content off of Nintendo or Zelda, or these are all things that interest kids. Nintendo itself markets towards kids as well. They know that this is their demographic, and these people making the content for these systems are all of a sudden at liability for YouTube's failure. YouTube's complete and utter failure to have decent business practices and to be a company that keeps their fucking nose clean. Like, really. Really. And I mean, I could be ranting for no reason. This is 100% YouTube's fault, just so you guys know. Coppa is in effect and has been in effect for a long time. They should have been following these rules. And I think Coppa is a good thing. We should protect children 13 years and younger from these weaponized advertising systems that get you to click through a million times. And it's really, really sad to see YouTube step inside and say, go ahead and crack down, when they were the ones who messed up, when they are the ones responsible for this, when they are the ones who are stepping aside and leaving us bare to the attack from Coppa, and they're going to use machine learning for Coppa strikes, by the way, so you can guarantee that in the beginning, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Nintendo-related stuff, anything that could potentially be marketed towards children is possibly going to hit with these machine learning copyright strikes, just like the beginning, or Coppa strikes, just like the beginning of the copyright system. People were getting copyrighted over their own content, over the content that they owned. Where is the stopping point for this BS? Like, when is YouTube going to step up, defend its content creators, draw the line for us? Now, I'm probably overreacting. I don't think Coppa will be the death of YouTube. I really think they're going to clean up. They're going to give us these guidelines. I would prefer to think good of these companies that I make content for, because I looked it up when Coppa was a thing. I was going to shut my channel down, get off of YouTube, and say, screw this. I'm done, especially with the way YouTube handled it. You guys can just come after our content creators. We make you all of your money. Every single cent is made by people who put content on your servers, and you're gonna let us get attacked. We make your money. What happens when we go away? So, I guess on a strong note, I want to leave it at that. If you guys like my content, give it a thumbs up. I promise to start bringing more positive stuff again. I just wanted to get this rant out of the way. Comment down below. Give me information on Coppa. Tell me if I'm misinformed or whatever. Subscribe if you enjoy my content, and hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload. And with that, guys, I really appreciate the fact that you sat through my rants. Just keep an eye on things, and keep an eye out for yourself. If you're one of these channels that has kid-related content, but really isn't for children, really YouTube, you, a mega corporation, is going to let Coppa crack down on your mom and pop owners that make you all of your money. I'm just disappointed, for real.